And we're live. Good evening, guys. Let's see if I can zoom out a bit in some way. Yeah, I can. Yes. Right now, I forgot to. Oh, I can hear myself. I can hear myself. That's because I forgot to mute the stream volume. Sorry for that. Anyway, good evening, guys, and welcome to another ByteDelight show, episode 11, and it's the 17th of August. So let's get started. I hope this will be an interesting program for tonight. Please help me with more topics if you have anything on your mind that needs to be discussed today. Otherwise I might forget. Of course there's enough going on because if I watch what I've posted during the last days, then there's enough to talk about here. Let's start with the usual welcomes. Welcome, hola, hello, guten Abend, and I hope I'm not forgetting any language of people that are present here on the chat. So help me if I forgot anything. I really like to hear. Let's see if I can. Oh man, I really need more displays here because I have two over HD resolution HP displays, but I really need a couple of more because I cannot show anything I need to. But it's just me, I think. Let's see if we can move. Yeah, it's a bit better. Okay. Now if I just could see more of the chat. I cannot enlarge the chat window here, so I'm not sure if that's the best. Anyway, sorry. Thank you, Frank, but I rather hear that from a girl, of course, a woman, that I'm fashionable. Oh, fashion me late! Oh god. It's only a couple of minutes. I thought you were referring to my shirt. I really do my best to wear cool shirts. Anyway, hey Jan, good evening from Germany, I see. So guten Abend is on its in the correct place. Thank you for joining and have a good holiday as long as it lasts, because I can imagine that for many people it will end this week. For us here in Holland, the school holidays are ending mostly this week, I think. I've heard it from other people as well. So my kids are going to school from Monday, and to be exact, my son is going to school from Tuesday. And he's going to high school for the first time, so that's a big change for him. I think I've mentioned that before. So it's going to be a change for him. We'll help him a bit, of course, with getting to school by bike, which is a larger distance than he's used to. But anyway, he will manage. Okay, in Scotland, people are back to school 2 weeks already. Man, that's a difference. I didn't know. I should have known because we have some family and friends in the UK, which is of course not all of Scotland. Scotland is not a complete. Well, anyway, you know what I mean. Could be a difference. I'm not sure. Oh, let's put on the music because last week I forgot. Sorry for that, and I hope you can forgive me because I like to have some background music. Just let me know if it's too loud or not. Okay, Scotland is early. I bet parents in Scotland just want their kids to be at school instead of disturbing them at home, maybe? Not sure. Darren, Etienne, good evening. Didier, good evening. I think I have something... Yeah, I still have to work on your order, Didier. It's almost done, but it's on the wall here. Just looking. For me, it's always holiday. I never have to worry about colleagues that need me or something. Only customers and people who need me the whole year. So I actually never have a holiday. So if I'm honest. All right, let's see what we have to discuss tonight. Well, first, I think we're at 9:34 something with the subscription status. So a couple of more people, and I can give away the ZX HD, including the Raspberry Pi. I'm not sure how I can speed up people to subscribe. I get some new subscribers every day, so that's not a problem. But I don't know, maybe just another Twitter post or something. We'll see. We'll do that. Tonight's snack is nostalgic again, of course. So no celery like last week. You cannot blame me because people didn't like celery. Most of the people in the chat. So I got back to just common snacks, you know. And I'm not getting all of them because I really want to stick to my health plan, which I've done last week. Except for one day, I must say. But anyway, I'm trying to lose some weight, so I stopped drinking alcohol. Not even one glass or something. I just have to quit it for a while. And of course, that means also I should not get too much chocolate or anything else, which is sometimes a bit difficult. But anyway, tonight's snack is these cheese nibbles. For me, these are nostalgic because as a kid, I sometimes had them, and I really think back of the taste and the bite, and you know what I mean. Anyway, I like them a lot, so I'm getting a couple before my son comes up and takes them away. And something else, which is very bad, of course, because of lots of sugar. I remember this drinking Dr. Pepper when I was young, and I only had it a couple of times, maybe two or three times. But I really remember the taste, and it has such a specific taste which I can still remember. So I have my Olaf glass here, and I'm going to get only a bit, not too much. So I hope you guys agree. Anyway, let's put something up in case there's some fly here, and my son can get it if he wants to. And of course, I'm trying to take care of my kids as well, that they don't gain too much weight. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, Darren. It's not my fault. Anyway, Cornucos. Let me Google that. Cornucos. Is Cornucos the name in what language? Is it English? British? I'm not sure. Nacho cheese. It sounds Mexican or something. I don't know. But it's not the same. If I can, no, it's not the same. Let me show you. These are the solid. Well, it's not solid. There's a lot of air in it, but I googled for a name, and it just said cheese nibble. So it's not the same as nacho cheese. And if I see the image of a Cornucos. It looks to me more like bugles, like we have them here in Holland. I'm not sure if bugles is international, but anyway, the taste is wonderful. I like them a lot. Jeez, what's it? I just had dinner, so I'm not that hungry. But the problem with these things is, when you start, you can eat the whole bag. It's not my fault. That's how they made them. So I will show some discipline now. I will put them away and try to not get it back again. Anyway, alright, so Cornucos was the Dutch name in earlier years. Okay, never heard of it, I must say. I just remember we had them as kids at parties and sometimes at home, and that's good. Nice taste. Awesome. I like nice tastes. Anyway, alright. So that's for the nostalgic snacks. And talking about snacks, I received a Raspberry Pi today. I order lots of them weekly to keep up my Raspberry Pi stock for selling with ZXHDs. And the one I got today included a pack of Haribo mini snacks. I don't know if you guys know them. Let me check if I can find them. Haribo minis. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it was this one. I will show you guys just a sec. I think it was this pack, which I actually received with my order, and wrong button. Where's that window? There it is. So that one, I think. Not completely sure. So one of the minis, which is inside the larger bag. And I was thinking of maybe I should do that too. Maybe I can just add these sweets with the orders I ship. So let me know in the chat if you people would like that, or if it's ridiculous or just childish or something. Anyway, I like the sweets which were packed, and of course, being healthy, I ate them all in a minute. Anyway, maybe they did, yeah. Maybe they watched my YouTubes and they know I like snacks and sweets, and who doesn't? Come on, man. It's just people. Some people are more have more discipline than I have. Anyway, so talking about health and snacks, which is a contradiction, of course. I'm sticking with my health plan, as I said. The only problem was last week I had a really stiff neck, and which is, I think, caused by some virus or so. I have that quite often, once a year or something, and it really is very frustrating because you can almost not move, and sometimes I can almost not lift my head at all, and need to stay in bed. That was last week, so it's almost gone now. I visited the doctor because it took too long, I thought, but he just said, no, you have to keep it warm and get some rest, and so I did, and it's getting better. But it's always frustrating when you have so much work. Well, there are mini stroopwafels, so maybe that could be an idea, but maybe I just can throw it in. I'm always doubting a bit when I get free sweets or snacks or cookies or something with an order. It's not the first time, because you don't know what people did with them, you know. But maybe it's just me, and I shouldn't worry, and I shouldn't worry that other people might worry. And if not, let me know, and I will just add those things. I don't see people who agree with doing that, but if you think it's a nice gift like stroopwafels, mini stroopwafels, then let's just do that. Good idea, by the way. I will put it down in my to-do list. Where's my to-do list? New emails coming in and Facebook messages in the meantime. That's work, you know. The only thing is, if I would add sweets in my packages, I need to find a supplier that can supply 1,000 for a cent each or something. I'm not sure. We'll see. Nice. Good idea. I will start adding stroopwafels then. Good idea. That's the most known snack, I guess, from the Netherlands. So let's just try and see what people say about that. Maybe I will just put a label on it. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, of course, the independently packed. I'm sure they exist. We'll check. Good idea. Anyway, I'm not going to just add them without any packaging, because your interface or add-ons would be ruined. Right, back to the show. Okay, last week I announced that I would focus on repairs, and I tried. Because I did a couple of repairs. Actually, someone was here yesterday. You may have seen his post to pick up some stuff that I fixed and finished. Not all of it, because some people just send me so much stuff, man. And I have stacks of some people here that over 10 machines, 10 boards. So to give you an idea of how many repairs I have in my backlog at the moment. I see those nice toast-rated boxes on display. Anyway, yeah, coffee shops. Yeah, coffee shops. Coffee shops here are. You can really get a real kick out of the coffee shops here in Holland. Yes, but just call it coffee shops. I know what you mean. 150 for 50. Ah, that's cheap already. But are they independently packed? Sorry guys if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I will just write it down and check for it. It would be nice to, maybe I should just pack a mini stroopwafel with the DivMC Mini and pack larger ones with the normal interfaces. Just joking. Let me just write it down. I really need a co-host so someone else can write it down and you guys don't have to wait. Right, let's continue. Okay, so why didn't I focus that much on repairs? Well, that's because I'm still getting lots of orders and I still don't have the pick and place machine, so I have to do a lot of work by hand. For example, I think today I got 5 orders for a DivMC Mini and I make them by 5 usually, like in this box. Some parts in here, not the electronic parts like the chips and the resistors and that sort of things. Those are in other boxes there. It was my Spectrum that you heard. I'm not joking, that was a Spectrum. Spectrum. I was not joking. It fell. Anyway, I really have a real Spectrum here. Let's see if we can see some rainbows. Oh, you can see my other screens there. Wow. Isn't that cool? But no rainbows now. You can do awesome things with such a block. I have it for I think over 30 years or something. Anyway, let's get back. Where's my screen? Oh yeah, there it is. I did some repairs. I fixed a +3 that had a dead ear input, which was I think was the gate array that wasn't soldered correctly, and I still have from the same guy. I have this awesomely rare machine here. And no, it's not a replica; it's an original. And I should be very careful because if he's watching, he might be very angry at me because I should be very careful with this very rare machine, which I am. I'm very careful with it. He actually found the schematic for the micro ASO, which will help me to repair it if it's needed. It's just that we didn't get a good picture out of it yet. So maybe I can do a basic transistor mod for a composite video output and add just the transistor and a couple of resistors in the modulator, which works very well with the European ZX80s, and if this is about the same, then it should work as well. So I need to finish that, and then I should send it back to him. The only problem is that this is such a rare machine that if I will send it, I need to package it very carefully. I think I will use 2 boxes and a lot of protective material and send it with an insurance value of €500 or something, because we don't want to take any chances of it being damaged or something or lost. And it's talking about losing post. The last month it happened 3 times to me. Let me think. I think twice 2 packages were missing, and 1 was returned to me without any reason. I contacted PostNL yesterday, and they didn't know why it was returned. There was no note at all about the reason. It just was returned, and it's ridiculous, really ridiculous. Of course, PostNL will pay the new shipping costs. That's not a problem, but it just takes so long, man. And the thing is, I ship 75 or maybe more percent of the packages, and not the small envelopes that be sent by standard post with only stamps, but packages by DPD nowadays, because they're cheaper and I can deduct VAT. So I only ship a couple of packages a week by PostNL these days, mostly to the United States, for example, or Russia or something like that. If they mess it up 3 times in 2 months, then I think they're not doing a good job there. And of course, it's not only PostNL, it's of course the other companies in the countries where it's sent to. But anyway, one package was missing and got delivered after all because it was at some depot without letting the addressee know about the place where it was. So we could just forward his telephone number and it was sorted. But one other got missing and I just got €50 back for some things that new hardware, so not a big problem. But anyway, the value of the retail value was a lot more. So yeah, that's what you get with using PostNL these days. Anyway, DPD is a lot better and never had any problem with them. So I can really encourage people to use DPD instead of PostNL. The only thing is that DPD only sends to some European countries and not to United States or something. So at this moment, I really have to use both. And just get a good insurance in case something goes wrong, which happens sometimes. But anyway, I don't hate PostNL because they're just dependent on their employees and other companies. It's just that I think they can do a better job, maybe by doing better management or something. I'm not sure. Talking about things I don't like or do like. I posted some photos as a reply to someone who showed some machines, including a ZX81, posts of doorstops. And I wanted to say I don't hate ZX81s, guys. Really, I don't hate them. It's just that I don't like them. And I mean, I don't have anything with them. I don't feel a ZX81 is a ZX Spectrum. I don't know if you know what I mean, but it's not the same thing, you know. Anyway, I'm checking the chat. So yes, 10 cents for a mini stroopwafel sounds good to me. I will get a pack and see if people like it. And if you say it's the start of the show, well, I think we're done with the start now. Anyway, Pink Floyd called when they want their album covers back. Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry, I get it. Sometimes I'm not the brightest one. Anyway, yeah, okay, Frank, I agree about DPD that in the Netherlands it's not the best courier. The thing is with DPD, they're not as fast as PostNL usually is. They take a couple of more days because they use small shops like bookshops, office stuff shops. We had one, it closed down, but we had a how do you call it? Things you can put in your house. Decoration shop. With a decoration shop which had a DPD partial shop inside. But that closed down, and you deliver your packages from DPD there, and then it's being picked up twice, maybe 3 times a week or something, but not that often. And it takes a bit longer before it's delivered. Although I think most of the time my packages to the UK, for example, are delivered within 4 working days. That's not too much, I think. It's lots faster than sending something like by post, standard post, so only with stamps. So I think DPD is not doing the worst job, and it's really competitive when it comes to pricing and quality of service, I think. Anyway, I hope they grow, and I hope they let companies like PostNL know how it should be done in the way. I mean, everything is digital, so. You enter your address details on the website. You have your account there, so everything you order is saved, and you can find it in your ordering history list. And that's that. If you want to do that with PostNL, you have to be a company and get a business account, and there aren't many benefits of getting a business account by PostNL, except for that they have you as a customer. And I really don't like that attitude of PostNL. Really, it's they're just arrogant. Arrogant, yes, that's the word I was looking for. Alright. Thank you for the link for the strobe bubbles. I will look it up. I have a Jumbo account actually, but if I can get them in the shop, maybe that's easier. Otherwise I have to spend 75 euro, I think, or what was it? 50 euro to get a free delivery, I'm not sure. We'll check it out, and I'm not going to buy that many stroopwafels. Alright, so I really don't dislike ZX81s. It's just that I don't like them. And that's very different, of course, compared to a ZX80, because the ZX80 is a really nice, small little, I would say baby, because of the color. It's white, it's small, it doesn't have hair. It's really a really nice machine, and I really love my stock of ZX80s here. I've shown them before. They're all stuck here in the crate next to me here. And I should offer some of them, but all of one thing at a time. We have still lots of things to do. So that's all the small things I did last week, working on production and finishing orders and doing some repairs, and still a lot of them to do. I have a couple of days left, because in 5 days, maybe one or 2 days more, I want to order the pick and place machine. And for that I still need to dig into one of the support forums where some people who actually produce that machine I want to order, the TVM 802A, I think, who actually work on the machine and develop the firmware and that sort of things. It's cool that that forum about that machine started a couple of years ago, I think in 2016. And in the meantime they changed the firmware, they updated the firmware and some other things about the machine. So if you buy the machine at this moment, you get another one than 2 years ago, better one. So I think it's great to see that small companies that produce those machines for desk use. You know, they're not much bigger than a 3D print machine, for example. Only more expensive. That's the main difference, I guess. But there are of course some very specific parts in there, and the software is different, of course. Anyway, I really like what I read so far about the support for the machine, and the most important thing to me is are two things actually. So one is when I order a machine and I get it at home, and something should be bad at the machine, or maybe some defect because of shipping or something. I wonder what happens then, because if it will cost 200 euros to ship it back to China, and I get it dead on arrival, I don't want to pay 200 euros extra to send it back, you know. So I really wonder what to do with that. I guess it never happened until now, so maybe I'm just worrying too much. But I want to know those things before I order a machine. And other things are, for example, if you have a defect later on, some part that's getting bad, a mechanical part or electrical part, I'm not sure. What happens then? Can you order spare parts, or do you have to send the machine back? And I'm really curious about that. And also after the warranty period, I'm not sure if it's 1 year or more or less, I don't know. What happens if you get a defect and you order parts separately? Those things I need to know, because I'm not spending 3,000 euro and then need to spend the same amount a year later. You know, it's a lot of money. So we'll see about that. A couple of days more. I guess I will have ordered it next week when the show is on. So we'll see that. Peter, good evening. Let's see. All right. So next topics. I was working on the SpectraNet. Where is my PCB? Let's see. I put it back here. So I've got a real pack of those PCBs here. Let me show you them. Just a sec. What's this? Okay. Nothing. So I have this pack of SpectraNet PCBs, and these are actually no ordinary PCBs. These are 4-layer PCBs. So it's impossible to see it from the side because it's stacked very carefully. But these are actually 4 layers. And last week I was looking at the tracks. Usually, if it's 2 layers, you can see the tracks to every pad. But in this case, some pads seem to have no track going towards it or going from it, but that's because the tracks are in the inside layers, which is very cool. It's still 1.6 millimeter thick. The quality is awesome from Seed Technology from Taiwan. I always order the boards there. The only issues which I'm having at the moment ordering parts is that, for example, the ROM they selected for this interface is deprecated, and it's very hard to obtain them. I found only one address on eBay that still sells those ROMs. So I am ordering the ROM for the time being. Fortunately, Dylan and some other guys were thinking with me when it comes to finding an alternative ROM, and it's possible to use another type of ROM. Then the problem is then that you cannot use the current flash utility from your ZX Spectrum to flash the ROM. And for that, I really would have hoped that they've used a dual line package instead of this TSOP package, because when you use a dual line package, you can just solder in a socket and program the ROM outside of this interface, and you don't need any special software for that, only a programmer, of course, which I have on a machine at the other side. But Dylan decided to do this way, and I cannot blame him. It's a cool design. It's very small, really a lot of parts packed in a very small footprint. So it's a cool interface, and I really should get to know it, because I haven't had one yet before. The only time I used it was at Spectrum 30 in Cambridge, in the, how was it called, the university there. I forgot. Anyway, I have to check it out. There was a setup with 4 Spectronets and a Raspberry Pi server that was hosting SpecTank. And SpecTank is very cool. But you can do lots of things with Spectronet, and people are really waiting for to use it here. So I really should hurry up with getting the Spectronet ready. And I think I found all parts at the moment, so I only have to order them, and I hope that everything goes well. Fortunately, Dylan found or listed many final part numbers in this bill of materials that he sent me. So I think it's not the toughest job to get it done, and there's no part that I don't think I can solder myself by hand. This all looks very straightforward for my experience, because I can show you, for example, that all the parts, or all the parts pitches, I should say, I have done already. For example, this is LXHD PCB, and this is I'll keep it next to each other. This is the Spectronet. You can see here that those two parts, this one and that one, have exactly the same package, so the same pitch when it comes to the pins and that sort of thing. So anyway, I'm sure, I even think it's the same part, by the way, which I have plenty of those, and I always do these by hand. In the future I want to do the ZXHD PCBs by machine, but we'll see about that. Still have to do a lot of changes. And one more thing about Dylan's design was that he was using 0403 sized parts, which are smaller than the 0805 I'm having here. But I checked if the 0805 would fit on the 0403, and that will fit. There's always some extra space, and what I'm meaning is, if I want to do a batch of these by machine, I can use the 0805 parts instead of the 0403. It will fit, although Neil Beadle will probably say I shouldn't do that, because he is a quality checker for PCB manufacturing, and he knows what he's talking about. So maybe I should discuss it with him first. We'll see about that. Anyway, the Spectronet's coming. I'm really curious what it can do. I haven't tested it myself, as I said, but it will come quickly now. Just have to order parts and finish them. Talking about finishing stuff, I will take a box here, just a sec. So here's the box with the first parts for the first batch of the awesome +2, +3 power supplies. And I really need to finish these as well very soon. I have these vanilla labels, I've them printed professionally, so these look awesome. The only thing is that my prototype is still not working perfectly, and I remember that I've sent a couple of them months ago to some people who told me that it was working greatly, maybe on the +2, I'm not sure, but yesterday I was testing one of the prototypes on the +3 with the floppy drive, and it worked. But a strange thing was that on one specific +3 the disk didn't want to load properly, often. And with an original power supply they did. So I think the parts I'm using at this moment need some more filtering of some frequencies before feeding it to the ZX Spectrum, because the high frequency switching in those modern power supplies is disturbing some parts in the ZX Spectrum. So I really should, I will show you guys again, because I think you will like this. It's very small, as you can see, but the camera focus, yeah, look at that. So it will have an on-off button. I have them here. All parts are good quality parts. So this is the small, oh, I will show you, you cannot see it this way. This is the small button that will go in there. I should have one ready, but I don't know where it is. Maybe I'll send it to someone, I'm not sure. This will go in here. And I'm using, it's not a secret, it's just that I'm still trying to get it affordable and with good enough quality. I'm using DC-DC converters, so I have a couple of them here. These are 2 amperes converters from any voltage to 5 volts. I think these are 5 volt fixed. Yes, these are 5 volt fixed. And these give enough current for the 5 volts to the ZX Spectrum itself, and of course the 12 volts is needed for the tape drive or for the +3 floppy drive and some other things. But the main problem at the moment is that all the switching frequencies is disturbing some electronics inside the ZX Spectrum. So I hope I can add some simple filter and sort it all out, because the good thing is when you have something like that, is that you have you can see it on your video, the composite video, and even the RGB is a bit disturbed, and you can see the difference immediately. So that's the good thing about that. But I really have to finish another one, because I'm not sure if I used exactly the same parts in the prototype. Let me get the prototype. Because this one was the one I was testing yesterday. And what I can do, of course, is open it and see which parts I had in here. And here I have the quality. It's not breaking. This is a quality power supply which I ordered from TME a couple of months ago with detachable mains plugs, so you can choose between UK, Europe, and some other countries. US was inside it as well. So. And it's quality power supply, so that's not the biggest issue, I think. But this one still gave some issues with the video output. Now let me open this one. Yeah, this might be the problem. I'm not sure. Is it? No, it's the same. It's the same one. Is it? No, it's a different one. It is a different one. So the DC-DC converter is a prototype, you know. The DC-DC converter which is in here. Is a bit different than the newer ones I ordered, but most of the parts are the same. So I really think it's a problem with the frequencies that should be filtered out. Let me check that when I have time. I hope very soon, because this could have already been available if the prototype was perfect. But it's not at this moment, so I just should finish it. Well, there are smoothing caps here. Uh, I didn't put any smoothing caps on at the moment, only some electrolytical caps for lower frequencies. But I'm not sure if a smoothing cap is good enough. Let me just... I'm not sure what the best solution is. I was thinking of some coil or something to filter out the frequencies. Maybe a combination of those. A coil with a resistor or something. I've used something like that, but that was for small signals with the laser, for example, to filter out overshoots because of switching voltages. And I could do that by a small circuit with I think I used a coil. Oh no, I used a capacitor with a resistor, but that was not for something like a power supply. So for a power supply, you might need a different solution, like with a coil. I have to check it. I'm not. That's the problem. Is I'm not a professional when it comes to power supplies. I don't know much about them, you know. So I really hoped that using a good quality 12-volt supply and a 5-volt DC-DC converter would finish all of the problems and be a good solution, but still have some problems. Yeah, that's true. The thing is, I really don't know. I must continue with it. I will just write some ideas down now, because otherwise I may forget again. Filter by filtering cap or a clamp, ferrite clamp. Google. I will just Google for ideas and. It's the same with me, Darren. I'm a novice as well, so I'm learning by doing it. And I really thought it would be more easy, but the thing is that when a company decides to leave the power supply outside of the machine, you will almost for certain know that there's no filtering inside the machine at all, and that's a pity. Because you know that the power supply should create a really smooth voltage for any case, and that's what the Sinclair +2 and +3 power supplies do. So they really create a very smooth output. But the only thing is that these power supplies are 30 years old and getting more and more problems, and people don't want to blame the power supply when something goes wrong, because they think it's if something dies, then it's the thing that dies that's bad. You know, that's the most often what I get back when, for example, the diffMC interface died because of a bad power supply. But I can convince people more and more that it's the power supply, because the machines often keep working and only the add-ons die. And I just say that my only experience, and that's true, I'm not lying about that, my only experience with defects on the diffMC interface, for example, is when people are using a +2A or a +3, and not on any other machine than that. And then I can only blame the PSU, because the machine is still working. And people often believe that, and that's good, because they say they will use the interface only on the grey +2 or a toast rack or something else, instead of the black machines, or get their power supplies serviced by Iron or someone else. I've never serviced a +2A or a +3 power supply, by the way. I don't think it's that much work, and I have one here that damaged a couple of times at diffMC, so I can use that as a test subject when I have the time for that. But I was really hoping that the replacement PSUs wouldn't have that much problems. But you know, the switching frequencies should be filtered out in anyway. So I will do that. We'll find a solution for that. I'm certain of that. That's not a problem. Alright, the next topic which I was thinking of is the Harlequin 128 kit. There are a couple of issues, and I found maybe I can share that with you. Harlequin, I've had that website in front of me a couple of times, but I really have to look it up again. Harlequin Ref2D. Let me share the website I found about that. Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Alright, it's probably too small to read, but there are some pictures in here, I think. So let me zoom in then, it's easier. The cool thing is this the site is in English and in Spanish. I need the English one. So Dan Superfo was working on the Harlequin project, and it was upgraded to 128K, and the first issue, the issue 1, which is this issue, as you can see here, zoom out, issue 1, you can see it here. This one had a 48K timing, so the only thing that Dan did on this revision was adding more memory and the AY sound chip. And it worked, but it still had 48K timings, so none of the 128K demos, for example, would run as they were programmed because of 48K timings, which isn't a problem often because there are really not much, only a handful of games and demos support 128K toast rack mode or +2 or something like that. I don't think there's any game that really is written specifically for 128K timings, I think, but I might be mistaken. And of course, many games need 128K, but the only thing when you need the exact timings is when you're using border effects or fast screen updates, but it's mostly only done in demos and not in games. Anyway, this is the issue 1. Let me check if someone is chatting in the meantime, because I cannot see it at the same time. I really need more screens here. Anyway, thank you, Darren. I'm looking forward to chatting about solutions for the power supplies. Maybe we can speed it up that way. Anyway, what surprised me is that the newer revisions, the files for the new revisions were available here as well. So I downloaded the 2D, and I already bought some of these 2D revision boards from Dan himself, from America, US. I'm not sure now, it's only file, that's a pity. You can only get some Gerber files and send them to Seed or some other company to have them produced. But it's different, of course, and let me think. I don't have any photos. I think from the completed 128 issue 2D myself. But I can, if I can find the link again. There are a couple offered on other sites. No, this is only the board. This is the new one, I think. Yes, the new one. What's this? Yeah, this is a completed one. No, it's also a kit. I don't see any assembled ones. I still can. I like that a lot. I will show you. This is the video about building your own Harlequin kit from Tweakers.net in Holland here, which is based on the kit I was able to send them, and I really like that they reviewed this on Tweakers.net. This is the 48K kit, of course, and they also showed some of the photo. Oh, Commodore 64, blah. They also show the contents of the kit. Let me check where the kit is. Where's the kit? Where's the kit? Where's the kit? Where's the kit? Here's the kit. This is the kit, and actually this is part of what my wife helps me with. She puts the labels on the small bags and opens the bag, so I can just put in the parts, and we do that together. And it's cool that they're actually showing how to assemble the kit here, and more of my stuff, of course, and I really like that. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here, but that's because I like the video, and they have a written version of that review as well, which is actually printed. I have the printed magazine here. But anyway, now let's not get too that much off topic. Let's get back to the 128K kits. The issues with the power supply, Peter, or with the Harlequin kit? With the Harlequin kit is the timing issues. The thing with the Harlequin kit is that Dan said to me that the timing of the issue 2D should be exactly the timing of the toast rack, and that's not entirely true. My experience after some testing, I put it online today. Let me get it. Oh, where did I put it? This is a tough one. Where did I put the page? I forgot to put a page here. Anyway, pages. Let me get to the pages. Just a sec. Is it this page? Nope. Oh man, where's the page? Yeah, here it is. I made a page, but I just forgot to put it on my website when you visit it. Okay, that doesn't work. Just a second. Alright, publish. Okay, now it's on the front page of ByteDelight. So that's a bit more easy. View posts. View post. Strange. Right, so here's the site I was talking about. I made this website today, and this shows the differences in timing. Let's see. Oh man, at commercials. Is it better? This is readable. It's big large. Anyway, so I have the Harlequin issue 2D, and I have a toast rack board here side by side. So this is the original toast rack, of course, and this is the case in which the issue 2D Harlequin kit is in. And here are the differences. So first, this is the output that you get with the original toast rack, with the utility that Dan sent me to test the timings, and you can see some strange things here. You see this detail that isn't right. Here's some more, but the strange thing is the test text looks well because the background is black, and I think that it's what it's supposed to do. But when I get to the output with the Harlequin kit, then all the details like the edge of the letters are correct, but the background is now completely white. So I don't know what it should be. I have no idea how it was supposed to look, but it's different between the Harlequin 2D and the toast rack, and I'm using the correct crystal values, so the speed. That's not a problem now. Another demo is enemy free, which is also timed for toast rack. You can select it actually when you run the demo and select the splitty overscan, the part 6 of the demo. You can select either 48K or 128K timings, and when you run it on a toast rack, it looks like this, which is alright. This is what it should look like. But when you run it on the Harlequin, you see some very strange things here. You see this part isn't rendered as it should, and you see some kind of stairway border effect, which should be a smooth square piece, right piece. I'm not sure. Anyway, the same. No, didn't show any difference. So my experience is that there is a small difference in timings. Not that big when you compare 48K timings with 128K timings, but they're still different. So I cannot say it's 100% exactly the same timings, which isn't a problem. So my conclusion here at the end is, it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. And why not? Because every game will run fine. Everything will run fine. Only some demos might show some strange things. And for example, I'm showing here the game Vectron, which has those nice border effects. And my son was looking and he said, "Oh man, that really looks 3D." When you hear that from a 12-year-old, then you know it's good, right? Because he's playing Fortnite and Rocket League and Minecraft and all those kind of games. And when he says, "Oh man, it looks cool, it's 3D," then wow. Anyway, these two, this game on both issue 2D and toast rack looked exactly the same, so that's not a problem. But you can see here, I'm not sure if you can. Let me zoom in a bit more. No, I cannot zoom in anymore. You can see it's not exactly perfect. You can see here that it doesn't line up perfectly, but that's because this demo was actually written for this game is written for a 48K Spectrum. So that's not a problem. And you can still play the game without any problem. So what I meant to say is it's not a big deal. If someone asks, does it have 128K timings or toaster timings? I can say yes, but it's not 100% as Dan said to me. It's not 100% the same. There's a small value difference in the clock speed, and I think that's why some demos really look a bit different than compared to an original toast rack. But still, it's not a big difference. I will continue, like I say here, with the 2D. I will use that version because the 2G isn't that different, and the Nouveau version with the diffMC is about the same, only has the diffMC integrated. And but I don't want to offer that at this moment. Maybe later, we'll see. Main reason is that I cannot have the boards manufactured myself, but I have to order them from Dan, and that's not cheap. Let me just put it like that. It's not cheap to get them from him. It's just cheaper to get them from C Technology, for example. And then I can order them for a couple of euros, 3 or 4 euros, I have to check. So enough about Harlequin timings. I will just make sure that those Harlequin kits are available soon as well. And if you would want to know why it would be interesting to get a Harlequin kit for me, now many people know that I really spend a lot of time on the do-it-yourself assembly manual. I can show you a part of that manual for the new kits, the upcoming 128K kits. Let me get it here. Assembly manual, yes. And let me just get that. And I'm hearing someone. Who is that?
Pepsi.
Hi, it's geen Pepsi. It's Dr. Pepper.
Oh ja.
Ja, maar ik zat zo aan te wachten en ik heb nou weer dorst. Ik doe een klein beetje nog in mijn glas. Oké?
Yes.
Bye bye. Wil je nog wat van de cheese dingen?
Zometeen.
Je neemt nu wel wat mee, maar niet te veel. Only 2. Oké, 3.
Valt erin.
Okay. He's happy, I'm happy. Alright. The manual, yeah. I'm missing a lot of chats, I guess. Let's see if there's a lot of chats. No, not that much. HQ? High quality? What do you mean? Let me share the screen again, and there it is. So this is the manual, my Word file, of course, and I have to swap some photos. I don't want to show the complete manual, so I'm just skipping to another part. I'm really proud of the part I finished a couple of days ago. Which part was that? It's here. It's here. Where is it? Here. This is the part where we have all the configuration, and I spent a lot of time on making that as clear as possible. So people, if they order the kit and assemble the board themselves, it's easy to configure it to, for example, PAL or N2C. There's a joystick interface on the board, which you can use, or if you don't want to, you shouldn't have to. I'm still doubting if I maybe should offer the parts for the joystick interface separately, but that could be risky in a way that you also need an IC socket for the joystick interface. Now, anyway, I'm not sure what I should do. If I would offer the cable with the joystick connector separately, then I think I can also offer the chip and what more? I think only a resistor net something separately. Oh no, that's the pin error. It's a pin error that that I could offer separately. Anyway, I could do that, but I don't want to people thinking that I want to get the most money out of every upgrade or something. That's not why I'm doing that. The reason that I'm not going to include the joystick cable and connector by default is that I don't think many people will use it, and it's some work, a lot of extra work to actually create a cable. I don't think many people will use it because if people will use a different machine interface, they might just use a different machine interface with an integrated joystick interface already. And if you would use the joystick interface on the Harlequin kit, it could be conflicting with your joystick port on your diffMC or other interface. So that's the thing I'm worrying about. People should know that they have to choose if they want it or don't want it. And also, of course, one of the most important reasons is if you are using an extra joystick connector on the board, then you have to create a hole in your case. And I'm not recommending that at all. Because it's a lot of work to do it properly and make it aesthetically good enough to watch it every day when you use it. Anyway, timing control. This is still, if you want to use 48 timings, you can do that by a jumper and using another slightly different crystal. But I have no idea what people would do that on this board. So it's by default it's 128 timing, and it's an optional. That's good. Dan made sure that all the things that most probably will not be used have a board wire on the back of the board that you should cut to get it to the other option. So by default the board is configured to 128 timings. And some other things as well, like PAL NTC selection. By default it's PAL. If you want to change it, you have to cut 3 board wires and use the pin headers and the jumpers to select NTSC. So you don't have to solder those pin headers on the board if you're sure you're not going to use NTSC, for example. If you're sure you're not going to use 48K timings, for example. Anyway, another cool thing of these boards is that you can use the +2A and +3 ROMs if you want to. You can use a ROM type that has enough space for using those ROM sets. The only strange thing for people might be that instead of using 2 chips, you can put the 2 ROMs of the +2A and +3 inside of one 29 FO40. So that's a cool thing. You only need 1 chip, but you must make sure that you're programming it the correct way. And talking about ROMs, that may be one of the hardest things about this kit. I have 1 or 2 original ToeStrike ROMs which I could sell, but I'm not going to offer programmed ROMs because the ROM contents, it's not free to distribute that. So if you have a ROM programmer yourself, you can do that. It's not a problem at all. But I really can't hand people a programmed ROM with the ToeStrike contents or +2A contents or something like that. I'm not going to do that. So if you want the kit with a ToeStrike ROM or something, I think you have to do it yourself, or you have to ask for someone who can do it for you. Maybe it's an idea that I add links in the manual to places where you can buy an Apron programmer for not that much money because they are not expensive, and I think that's legal. Am I right? I don't think that's a big problem that people buy Apron programmer and program their own ROM. I don't think that's illegal. So let me just write it down. I should add it to the manual. Harlequin 2D manual, Apron programmer addresses. And I even don't. I even not against helping people programming their own ROMs. I'm just not doing that for them because it would be illegal. Alright, Harlequin. Alright, Peter, so there are really no issues with the Harlequin kit. I resolved all the issues last week. So the Harlequin kit is working very well, is doing what it should do. It's now my daily driver when it comes to testing and other things. When I need a computer, I'm using the Harlequin 2D board inside that beautiful 48K case with the 128K logo on it. I think it's very cool. Actually, it's very cool because it doesn't have a heatsink. I really like the machine. It's just not 100% perfect when it comes to timings, although some people thought it was. But it's still a great kit to build, I think. It's really a great kit because if you build a 48K kit, you have the feeling you build your own ZX Spectrum. But if you build a 128K kit, you have the feeling you build your own toast rack. When you power it on and you see the toast rack booting screen, you really have the feeling I'm working on a toast rack, and that's really cool. So I'm very sure that I'm going to sell a lot of these. Some people already said they were waiting for it to show up in the web shop. So let me just work on that. But first, still, I want to finish the repairs this week, next days. Then I have to order the pick and place machine, and last but not least, I'm going to work on the new products. And yeah, Peter, you're totally right. The issues are nothing. It's just that some people wanted to know if it's 100% exact same timings as with a toast rack, and that's not true. So if I answer people that it depends on that question. If they say is it 128K timings, I can say yes. But if they ask is it 100% the same, I say no. So that's it. No issues whatsoever. You can just play any game, you know. Oh, one cool thing last week, you may have seen a video talking about cool things. I really like that, man. Another cool thing pops in my mind. Let me show that. That's really cool as well. Because I was mentioning Tweakers.net a minute ago, and today they showed a video of LGR from Clint, from the guy, using a floppy drive. Maybe you've seen this video, man, it's awesome. He uses a floppy drive with only a converter cable on a Samsung Galaxy S8 or 9, I'm not sure. What is it? Galaxy Note 8. And it works, man. He just runs a DOS box on his Android phone. He takes a floppy with Command Key on it. He puts that in the USB drive, and he plays the game on a smartphone from a DOS box. Can you imagine that? And that's why Tweakers featured that today on the website, and it's cool because and I'll also put it in the replies here. It's so cool that I watch a lot of his videos daily, and I sent some stuff to him a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really hoping I get a reply from him very soon about the stuff I sent him. Anyway, what was I talking about a minute ago? I was talking about the Harlequin kits, and man, now I forgot what I was talking about. Oh man, I'm so stupid. I was looking up something. Don't know. What was I talking about, guys? Where's all the windows? Alright, so I forgot I was talking about a minute ago because I was distracted by myself. That's my bad. I don't know. I think one of the new products. I don't know. I forgot. Maybe I should just... oh, I can do that, of course. No, that's an idea. I can just rewind the video. But that's a cool thing about streams. And talking about ROMs, that may be one of the... or the machine, it's just not 100 for it to show up in the web shop, so let me just... I'm just rewinding, as you imagined. I want to finish the repairs whatsoever. You can just play any game, you know. Oh, one cool thing last week, you may have seen the video talking about oh yeah, cool things. Yeah, now I remember. I remember the other video. Where's the other video? The other video. The other. Sometimes I'm just so confused in my head. I uploaded another video about that cool, old school, which is still cool, cassette adapter, if you have seen that maybe. And it's still such a cool solution for an issue that someone from Brazil asked me. So I still have to get back to him about that. It was the car adapter, which I'm showing here. Let me show you. Whoop. Hey, 2 bands. Oh my god. Really? Oh, what did it do? Oh no. And that worked perfectly. So I'm using the adapter to load from a smartphone, and there weren't any volume issues whatsoever. It just worked perfectly. Something that surprised me was that when I downloaded ByteDelight, which popped in my mind, the first thing when I thought of an app to download, it had a very large library of games already installed, and I don't think that's very legal. I said it in the video, but I edited it out because I think it's people's own responsibility at the end, of course. But in the original shots I said something about that I wouldn't recommend using ByteDelight or downloading it because of all the illegal software that's installed with it. And there were really a lot. Why is my camera not in focus? Hello? Yeah, that's better. Anyway, so it's cool that it works. And I, as I said, I should forward this to someone who asked me for it. It really works well. So if you have a +2A and you want to load it, things the old school, but not from tape, then just use the cassette adapter. And in the video I just showed you, in the description are links to AliExpress and eBay, and these things, these adapters only cost less than €2, including shipment, so that's not an issue at all. Alright, I think I like all the music in the background. And no, Darren, I didn't pay for the app. Is there a paid version then? I wonder. Really? So if you make a free app, you can just put in as many games as you like? Okay, and it could be, but I don't think that's completely true. But because if you, for example, the websites that distributed torrent files or movies completely, those websites did offer the things for free, but they were being very illegal with the work they were doing. So what you're saying, I don't know if it's true. I think you have to get the acknowledgement from any of the producers of people behind the games if you're allowed to distribute or redistribute the games by an app like that. I don't think it's legal. Not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. Maybe the guy who wrote ByteDelight checked all the details about the games he included with. I'm not sure. Is it listed on the World of Spectrum if you're allowed to distribute it in any way? Does anyone know? Let's check a game on World of Spectrum. I wonder. Is it listed here like a day in life? Is it on a D or no? I think it's on the A. Is it A? Day in the life. Day. Arrgh. Okay, I think it's on the D, alright? Do you think it's on the D? Day in the life, yes. Micro Mega. What does it say? Oh, am I clicking on the wrong side, man? What does it say about distribution? Why doesn't it say anything about distribution? Am I not reading it correctly? Am I mad? I'm not finding anything about distribution rights here. Usually it says if it's allowed or not allowed. That's odd. This surprises me because, for example, if we take a game like R-Type, for example, which I'm sure that isn't allowed to redistribute because it's remade in any way possible. R-Type, is it top or is it on the bottom? Oh. I cannot type R-Type. This seems to be denied because it's red, I think. So it's distribution denied, but it's at availability, and that's interesting. But that only means that it's not available on this website, I guess. And what does this say? Never released. What? Okay, of course. Is this released? Available. This says available, but there's no download here, is it? Or there's a download? Alright, now I'm confused. So this says available and you can download it. But a second ago when we checked Day in the Life, it says availability. Available is both perfect TZX and not TZX. So does it mean if this says it's available then you can redistribute it? I have no idea. I'm confused. I don't know what this means. Frank, it could be true, but I'm not sure. I haven't checked. I had a feeling that the games that I was loading from the app on my smartphone, all the games were locally on the phone because they loaded so fast. But of course, the files are only a couple of kilobytes. So maybe maybe they downloaded it from the archive directly. All right. So, but still, I'm not sure if it's completely legal. Even a link to the game. I'm not sure. I have no idea. Really, I don't know. I just don't know. And I don't know if I want to know it because it's not my hobby or work to do that. That was Martijn's work in the past, and I've met the guy a couple of times. He now lives in Thailand, and the website is hosted by some other guys. Was it Lee? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's not get into that. Alright, I think it's interesting, those are interesting topics in either way, so it's just cool to talk about it, but let's not get into much detail because otherwise we get discussions I don't want to be involved in. Okay, lots of messages in the background, but that's not for now. Yeah, I think all the software on World of Spectrum is available for personal download and not available for any commercial download at all. Only maybe the games from Jonathan Caldwell, and I'm not sure if these are allowed to commercially redistribute. I don't know. I haven't checked, but I can imagine because he offers the games for free and you can just download them whenever you want. So, but I don't know. I really, if I would do that, I would check that out myself. Yeah, maybe. Alright. I think I'm through all of my topics for this week. I think we had a couple of interesting ones. For example, the +3 PSU, the Harlequin kits, the SpectraNet, which will come, but again, my plan, my personal plan, and I really have to focus on that because I really have to create the income for my family. The plan is to get the pick and place machine here in 2 weeks. So I really have to do everything that's needed for that. So for example, the repairs and other stuff that I need to get rid of. And someone reminds me of something which is important. Do we have that somewhere? Let me check. Let me just get the Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. Come on, man. Where's my URL to Twitter? I will get a Twitter message. I do Twitter sometimes. Sometimes. Not often. Sometimes. It's cool that you can connect Twitter to Facebook. So if you connect it to, for example, your Facebook page, if you have one, it will automatically put everything on Twitter that you post on Facebook, which sometimes is useful, but not always, because it's really putting everything you put on Facebook on Twitter as well, and sometimes it doesn't show the photos you added or something, and that's really not useful. Anyway, what I'm looking for is the message from last week. Let me just get that. Okay, I have two here, but those are about the same. Okay, let me get the one from... What's it doing, man? Why can I not... That's odd. Anyway. Yes, here it is. So, Peter and I, last week, we discussed giving people a discount to each other's shops when they order at either of our shops. And if you're interested and you have placed an order with my shop, then you can get a discount coupon for Peter's shop, and the other way around as well. So if you order something at Peter's, you can get a discount coupon for my shop. And I think it's great because we tried. I tried it with Peter. I tried it with Ricardo. With Thomas. We try to. How do you call it? Just a sec. We try to be each other's supplement. We try to complement maybe better. Complement each other's stuff we offer, and so that you can get everything at different places. And we're not competing. We're just trying to give people the best of products possible, and I think that this is good for many people that want to order, for example, a Harlequin kit from me and a case from Peter. Now, they can get some discount on both sides if they want to. So that's the news from last week, but still very up to date. So I think it's worth mentioning, like Peter reminded me of. And again, I really want such a small micro keyboard with preferably those OLED screens on them, but I think those are expensive. So maybe I should just stick with some kind of macro keyboard. I have to write it down because I thought of it last week. Macro keyboard, macros. And just start with a keyboard that I can program and can put some small pieces of paper underneath the keycaps. So I can just put specific keys instead of trying to select the correct scene here and pressing the wrong one because it's harder. Anyway, other things that I might have forgotten. Let's see if anyone... Alright, no, those are other customer questions, not for the moment. Anyway, I think that's it for this week. If anyone has something else we should discuss, thank you, Chan. Progress is indeed slow, but it's not a problem because if everything goes in a straight line, then I'm happy. And why do I say that? Because I like straight lines. I can show you something which I think is cool to end the show for tonight, and that is my lists of serial numbers. Where is the document? Oh, there. I create a list with serial numbers to keep track of sales, and let's just use ZXHD maybe. Yeah, let's use ZXHD. I think it's a good one. Yeah, I will show you this graph, because we companies, we like graphs. Everything's about graphs, you know. If you have a good graph, you get money. So here's a graph. This is, for example, the ZXHD graph. I'm trying to keep a good look on sales, and so I know what I can expect. And this is not a straight line, because I play a bit with the average sales per week. And it's not the reason that it may look as it's not much a week is that I'm not offering this anywhere except my web shop at this moment, to try to do things in an orderly way. But once I get a pick and place machine, that all will change. But the thing is, I can really predict about when I reach the 500 ZXHD, for example, in a couple of months. No, in a year. in this rate in a year. But I have more graphs like the FMC, the old one, the larger one. I almost sold 1,500 of these, and that's really nice. So if you could talk about graphs, then I think this is cool to see. You know, it's just cool, just so cool. So progress, yes, progress is slow, but if it's going in some kind of straight line, and I like it's still progress, and you know you can increase things. And I really like when things go slow, because imagine that, for example, Clint will make a video about the stuff I sent him, and 10 million people watch the video, and I get 1,000 orders in a day, for example. Just imagine that, and it can happen, because just it can. That would be a problem. And to keep that in perspective, last week someone from the US asked me if about pricing for 50 sets of Harlequin kits with cases, with DivMC and Pro 1s interfaces and ZXHDs, and he asked for 50 kits. And if that order would proceed, then I really have some kind of problem, because it's really a lot of time to assemble 50 kits, Harlequin kits, assemble them. You know, it's over an hour each, and all the extra add-ons that I almost would say that I would want to wait with such an order until the pick and place machine is installed. But then again, the Harlequin kits in the way I offer them at the moment, they're not for S&D assembly lines. So anyway, but that's only 50. When you get 1,000 orders, and for any product, it's a whole different number, and that could be a problem, you know. If that happens, people would expect to have it in their hands within 2 weeks, then I really have to switch very fast and think of any good solution for that. Anyway, those things can happen, and I'm a bit careful with offering everything at all places. That's why I'm being careful, because I know there's so much demand for this stuff, and not only for Sinclair, of course, but for any retro computer at this moment. There are so many people who love these machines, and especially when you watch. I liked one video I should show you. If you watch the LGR videos, there was one last week. No, it wasn't last week. There was an older one, but I can show you. It was oh man, it's such a cool video, such a cool product, by the way. It was this one. Let me show you that, and then I will end. Yes, it was this one. Look at what he's building. Look what he's building. Can anyone guess? Okay, it's in the title, but can anyone guess what he's building? It's so cool, man. These are 2 floppy drives here, 5 1/4 inch floppy drives. And let me just continue. I think he has the base unit completed here. And I'm Should wind it a bit. Okay. Yeah. Almost. Look. This is the base unit of the IBM PC Lego kit. It's so cool, man. It's really nostalgia. Look at how look at finished product. And you know, there's really a main board inside. But look at that, man. It really looks like an IBM PC. It's so cool. And especially when the other parts are finished. Look at that. It's Lego. It's so small. and he was very happy with the kit himself. But if you look at that, it's so cool. It's really nostalgia, and I like this. I would almost order a kit myself, but it's expensive because someone designed this himself. It's not from the Lego company. You can these are Lego components, by the way, but not designed by the Lego company itself. But it's so cool, and this gives people the really good feelings of having something like that themselves in Lego form or in real life in a complete machine. I actually was tempted a couple of weeks ago to buy some IBM PCs with some defects from the Classic Computer Company here in Holland, which is overpriced most of the time, but he wanted to get rid of some machines, so I was doubting about that. But I didn't do it because I don't have the space. But there's really so much interest in these machines at the moment, and that will continue for a couple of years. And I'm not sure if it will last. It will last for 10 or 20 years. But maybe the things that people are interested in at this time is from 35 years ago, and in 10 years it's still from 35 years ago, but then from the 90s and the millennium age. So I think there will always be nostalgic products that will be of interest to people, and I just have to try to keep my products around the things that people are interested in. That's my goal, because I like to work on nostalgic stuff, especially Sinclair machines, of course, ZX Spectrums, but it's also an income for my family, so I'm making it being very serious about that. Well, I have a wife. Firefox 50. I have a wife, and she's doing a simple job at the moment, a couple of hours a week. But my idea is that when we have enough work to have the pick and place machine being in use for a couple of days in a week, then I would want to have someone to operate that machine, and I think that will give a lot more profit than my wife doing their job that she's doing at the moment. But I still am very careful with expanding space, and I'm definitely not taking any real employees in at the moment, because it's not that big. It's not that big. It's only for me, for our family. I mean, it's not I'm not a millionaire yet, and I'm not. That's no ambition. So please. I want to earn my income, and I want to do it in a way that I like, and I'm not frustrated by managers and chaos and reorganizations and narcissists, and oh man, I hated that office job. But I must not. I promised I wouldn't talk negative about the company. So I really like a lot of people there. It's like everywhere, you know. There are always people that you don't like. But this is what I should have done 20 years ago, when I still was a kid and not that serious. And I'm still a kid and I'm still not serious. But I can now do this work for a living. So anyway, right, that's the show for tonight. We're almost 2 hours on. Okay, 1.5 then. Okay, for the people who know, I was 10 minutes late. I think it's enough for today. Is anyone who has... No, I was thinking people maybe in the chat that I still have some repair stuff here, but Etienne, yes, thank you. But there are more people from Holland who send me some stuff to repair, so we'll do that as soon as I can. Tomorrow we'll continue on repairs and more things. So, until next week, play a lot with the ZX Spectrums, and don't forget to spend time with your family and friends. I shouldn't, so you shouldn't too. Make time for that. keep an eye on your health, as I try to. I'm still working on ventilation for my soldering workspace here, and I hope to finish that in a couple of weeks. And we'll see you next week, and maybe in the meantime with some other videos. So thank you for watching, all of you, and see you next week, guys. Head over to zxspectrum.shop to buy brand new add-ons for your ZX Spectrum. Lots of different products are available, for example the ZX HD HDMI interface or the DiffMC Enjoy Pro 1 SD card interface, and lots more. Set a currency preference to British pounds or euro and check out easily. Also found on our website are links to our Facebook page with weekly updates of all kinds of ongoing projects. And of course, do subscribe to our YouTube channel with lots of reviews and the ByteDelight weekly show episodes.